My name is Dave, and this is Fuzzee Tutorials. So today I'm going to show you how to install a heat spreader / RGB kit on your RAM. I needed to do this on my system because some recent issues has kind of made me paranoid about possible heat problems. So I ordered a set of these spreaders, and I'm going to show you how to install them and what they look like after they go in. As you can see, I've already installed a set here just to make sure I got the kinks out. So let's show you on the last two sticks of RAM here. We'll just set these to the side. Okay, so this is what you get in your kit. So you get a couple of plastic bags here. So we've got our thermal pads as well as a spacer pad if you've got RAM with memory on only one side, which we've got, so we'll be using these. And if you got really low profile RAM, they've got some little plastic spacers, but we won't need those, plus an extra screw. And the other bag has a little screwdriver in it. And then you get the pair of heat spreaders, and you get an adapter cable for some motherboards. And keep in mind, these are 5 volt, so they need to go on your 5 volt RGB header on the board. And as you can see, they've got an extra set of daisy chain ends on here, and I'll be showing you how that works when we put them in the system. So we'll take our first one here, and we need to take the screws out. The screwdriver that's included works really well. Okay, so we got to take one of our sticks of RAM here, and you'll notice that on the side where there is no extra RAM chips, we've got this sticker which we can leave in place because it doesn't need any cooling. And on the other side, we're going to remove this sticker off the chips, and I'm just going to put it on the back here, so that if I ever go to sell these, they'll be able to see what the RAM was without having to take it apart. Now this is the sticker that shows the actual model of the RAM, so this is a 64 gig kit, so these are all 16 gig modules, and that's why they're single-sided. So we're just going to take this sticker off, and you just got to be careful and gentle, but it comes off pretty easy. Don't need to apply very much pressure. And we're just going to put it at the top, center it. So in my particular case, the ends of the sticker actually line up with the edges down here. So that helps me align it pretty easily. Okay, so now we're going to sorry about all the noise outside there. but we're in a neighborhood not too far from downtown, so you tend to get a lot of noise. There's always some yahoo out there who needs to show off his mufflers, or lack thereof. Okay, so just going to peel the back off this, and there is only backing on one side, the side that sticks to the RAM. Oh, I guess actually there is backing on the other side. Ooh. I didn't have this happen before. Just tore the pad there a little bit. It's because it's so warm in here. So we're just gonna take it very slowly. Really being difficult, this particular one. Just figures it's the one I'm filming that's giving me the issues. There we go. As long as you don't rip a piece right out of it, it should be okay. And just line it up on those chips. Now, I didn't realize that this actually had a film on the other side because it's so much thinner. But we'll peel this off. I'll have to go back and fix the other ones. We'll do that off camera. Okay, so now what we want to do is line up the edges of the, or the ends of the stick to the ends of the plastic piece here, and just keep it tilted up, and once we have it flush with both ends, then we'll tilt it down and stick it in place. Okay, now we're not going to use this other pad. And this little foam piece here compensates for the difference in thickness of not having the extra memory chips on that side. And it just needs to be somewhere in the middle here. Kind of near the bottom. Now if you notice, this diffuser is what's shifting back and forth, but the actual LEDs are attached, so they're not going to move. And you have this little piece sticking out here, which lines up with the notch right over here. Just to make sure to get that lined up in the notch, and then she'll drop right on. And we'll put the screws back in place. And don't tighten them down too much on the first one. Wait until you get both of them in. And you can snug them down both nice and snug. Okay. Now if you look really carefully in the end here, if it'll focus there, you'll see that there's no gaps between the edge and the white part here, the plastic, and that's what you want. Oh, the other thing I forgot to mention is the way I'm orienting these is, you'll notice of course on RAM there's a notch in the middle, and the notch is slightly offset so that you can only put the memory in one way. And on DDR4 RAM, at least on this motherboard, the short side goes to the bottom. So I've oriented these so that the wires will come out the top, because the plug that we're going to be using on the motherboard is actually right at the top. You can't see it on camera, but it's right off the end of the RAM basically. You'll see it when I put them in. Okay. Good. Now you can snug these down good because they're going into metal threads, so it's going to be pretty difficult to strip it. And we're done. So you can see it's actually pretty easy. And I'm only going to be saving one of these boxes. A little bit OCD about keeping stuff neat and tidy. And I can, oh, I forgot to put this in there. Oh, looks like we got another one here. Okay, set that aside and throw this in the garbage. Oh, actually that'll go to recycling. Okay, so now we're going to put these in the computer. Okay, we're back. Let's just get these tie downs off the wires. Okay. Now I'm going to wait until I actually get these in there before I start daisy chaining this stuff together. So let's just get these lined up and snapped in. Right here. Just feeling a little stiff. Okay, there we go. Snapped into place. And we'll just set the wire off to the side. And I'm just looking for the one that's got the least amount of spacer pads sticking out to go in last. Okay, now we'll grab this mess of wires here. And we'll get them daisy chained together. Let me see here, make sure I do them in the right order. course, this spare here will get tied into the whole bundle once I cable manage it. Since I don't have any black zip ties left, I'll just use those black twist ties. And you notice that there's the way the pins are on here, you can only put them in one way. Alright, so those are all daisy chained together. And then we're going to this RGB 5-volt plug on the motherboard, which I confirmed earlier by looking it up in the manual. And if you're not absolutely sure, I recommend you do that as well. If you try and put 12 volts through these lights, you're going to fry them. Okay, so now we got to do some wire management here. Now I want to caution against coiling your wires. You want to fold them like this, because if you coil them, you can actually induce a magnetic field, which can create some weird issues in your system. Now I would actually love to run these out behind my computer and then back in through here, but that is going to be a big pain, because then I'll have to unhook everything on my system to get back there. I wonder if there's another place I can tuck these. Now, this may not be the best way to do it, but I've taken this system in and out of here so many times, and it is such a royal pain, and it is so heavy, and I've got some health issues that make it difficult for me to lift stuff without a lot of pain. So I'm just gonna stuff these back here, and then the next time I have to fully take my system out, I'll go back and fix it then. For now, as long as it looks neat on the front, that's all I care about at this point. I know this is probably triggering some of you. It actually triggers me a little bit, but I have to work within my limitations. Okay, that doesn't look terrible. I'll just tighten this up a little bit here. Okay, that's about as good as I'm going to get it. And we'll save our little caps. power it up and see if it works. Alright, seems to be working. So I'll spare you the installing software and getting the colors all set. And then I'll just show you a little bit of B-roll at the end when I got it set up the way I like it, or if I run into any problems. So just kind of a final word before the montage at the end. I did look around for some heat spreader kits that didn't have the LEDs, thinking to maybe save a few bucks. But these were actually pretty inexpensive. They only cost me just a little under 16 bucks for each set of 2. Now the black ones, they're actually more, but they actually have a different type of a hookup. They don't actually work very well for this type of motherboard. I mean, you could use them, but then you'd have to use like a SATA for your plug for your power, or even a Molex adapter. So these were what I went with because they do the job and they were the least expensive of my options. And you know, my main concern here is keeping the RAM cool. After I had that little issue with my system a couple of weeks ago there, I'm a little paranoid, so I've been running it without the glass on the side until I got these set up in there. I mean, they were probably okay because it turned out to not actually be an issue with the RAM, but I was a little paranoid that I had kind of cheaped out and got memory without heat spreaders. So that's kind of what this was all about. And for those who want the RGB, this is actually a pretty nice little kit. I did go through quite a few reviews before pulling the trigger on this exact kit, and was able to get it in the color I like. And for some reason the red is actually cheaper than the black, even with the same plug type. It's about 10 bucks cheaper. Alright, so I've been playing around with some software for a while here, and as you can see, I have not been able to get them to synchronize, and I've tried some various software, and the software that's supposed to be for the motherboard for controlling RGB that Gigabyte supplies is absolute garbage. As soon as I installed it, it blocked access to control the RGB on my video card. So I had to uninstall it and forcibly quit the app before I could see the RGB on my video card again. Now there is a header on the video card I could plug into, but then I'd have all of those wires snaking across the system. So until I can pull my system completely out and do the cable management at the back where I had to stuff the cables in, then I could run them back out from underneath and onto that header, and then I'll synchronize them to the video card. So for now, I will just set them both to static. Right now they're on color cycling basically, and unfortunately the different pieces of software I have, they don't have the exact same effects so that I can make them kind of look the same except for solid color, which really, to be honest, is fine. I'm just going to probably set it to a dark red. It's kind of my jam anyway, but just thought you might like to know some of the issues that you can run across. Now, I've tried some third-party software that's supposed to control everything, and unfortunately it's not picking up the RGB on the back of my monitor, and it's not picking up the video card. It only picks up the RAM headers. So actually it's RGB header on the motherboard, but and I tried both the Open RGB and Signal RGB. So right now I'm actually using the Open RGB to control the color on the RAM. And Open RGB is actually a pretty decent little program, but it definitely needs to be fleshed out a little bit. It's fairly early on, but it's really, really fast. So I'm kind of impressed with it in that regard. And for controlling the video card, of course, I have to use the software that came with the video card, which is the Tricks, and there's the Open RGB. So being that I can't quite get the effect I'm looking for, there's actually not going to be a montage. So I just wanted to say a final thing. This actually marks my 1-year anniversary as of June 1st since I opened this Fuzzee tutorial channel. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye for now.